want to introduce our next speaker, which is Hanna Pohjonen, and she's going to talk about another quite important topic, I think, and that's well, we have openEHR webinars like these ones and congresses, but we're lacking sort of a training course on openEHR where you can just have a training course and get started in a day or two, maybe. And Hanna has invested in such a training course, and she's well, an experienced openEHR, I think, customer, I suppose, as well, and implementer. And she has some experience in Finland that probably mimics what I just said. And based on that, she developed this training platform. So Hanna, take it away, please.
So good afternoon. My name is Hanna Pohjonen, and I am a e-health management consultant and also openEHR Ambassador Finland. And I started this e-learning environment project because the end customer said to me that, hey, we don't really understand what openEHR is, and we cannot really find material with clear content. And they said to me that, please, could you advise, could you train? And they said that when we go to openEHR international web pages, everything is too technical. We don't want to know the nitty-gritty things. We want to understand why, what are the benefits, how does the market look like? And we also have a lot of pain points that we want to have answers to. Can you hear me, by the way?
Oh.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
yeah. Okay. All right. So I started to make the e-learning environment and explaining openEHR and openEHR market in an understandable way. And what I also wanted was like to have the social context there. And I wanted the participants to be able to communicate with each other and also with me. So I am present in every single classroom that I have created. So I'm answering questions, I'm actively chatting with the participants, so I am there. And now I would like to show you. Okay. I am sharing the screen, I can see, but what happens? Okay, can you see my classrooms here? The demo classrooms, I suppose? Could somebody?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So I made this environment in spring, and I made it first in with the Finnish language. And then when I saw that it was successful, I also made an English environment. And now I'm going to show you the English demo for Netherlands. So I'm now like a user for the environment, so not as an administrator. So this is how the participants see the classroom. And the name for the classroom is openEHR and Modular Electronic Health and Social Care Record. And you can start learning by pressing this Start Learning here, and you can chronologically go from content to content. And you can see how much you have completed. But now I want to show you the content so that you can jump in the order that you want when you learn. I have divided this e-learning environment to 23 different sections. And in every single section, there is my training video. And in addition, there are some extra material, so public material that I have gathered together to support my training videos. So I have, for example, reference material from different projects. I have some white papers and so on. And I have also some tasks included so that the participants, they can, for example, write a blog to me about openEHR and their experiences or wishes. And then I'm chatting with them individually regarding the blog. So the first section is the introduction. So introduction to the whole environment. Then I talk about the ever-changing social and healthcare environment. And this means that we cannot really cope with the traditional systems anymore. They are not flexible enough to fulfill the needs. And I have included some thoughts from Harvard Business School here as well as extra material. Then I talk about the system architecture that I think that meets the new requirements, the platform-based architecture. And then I go to and discuss the open platform. So what can openness then bring into the game? And there is also extra material. Some people recognize this white paper from Apeta Foundation. Then I tell about openEHR very simply in an understandable way so that also the managers, salesmen, clinicians, they can understand. So what is openEHR? How can you make structured queries to the clinical data repository? What is CKM and so on? How will system integration change in this new world? How is that when in regard to traditional approaches? How about FHIR and openEHR? Are they competing or are they complementing each other? And of course, now we know they are complementing each other because we heard what our German colleagues were telling about. What are the success factors of openEHR? And what is really openEHR-based electronic health and social care record? What does it really mean in bits and pieces? And then there you can see my blog there as well. Then some pain points. The customers were very worried about a common user experience. How can we make it if we have different vendors with the openEHR modules in the same ecosystem? How about agile development? So what does that mean? And how can we as end customers also participate in agile development of different applications like the Corona application that we just heard about? The customers were very worried about the roadmaps. So what kind of roadmaps do exist from monoliths to modules? I'm presenting here 4 different roadmaps that I have found around the globe. Then a very interesting section, or people have found it interesting. So how can openEHR help creating cross-organizational care pathways? And I'm referring to the new task planning specification, and I'm telling about it in an understandable way. How can clinicians be in the center of developing data models and applications? And what are the real benefits for hospital districts? And then I go to the openEHR market. So I talk about openEHR market. We have 2 different approaches, data exchange and then modular openEHR-based electronic and social care records. I have various international examples. I talk about Nordics, especially because of my background, of course. Also UK, I have lived 2 times in UK, it's my favorite country, very much for openEHR. And then Australia, another favorite country for me, and also some forerunners for openEHR. Some cross-organizational openEHR projects as well. And then one very important aspect, what the end customers also wanted, the procurement related to open ecosystems. So how does that really differ when you have a open ecosystem procurement related to different openEHR electronic healthcare record modules, for example. And then takeaways from the training. So this is basically the content. So you can see it's very easy. You can get to the videos, you can get to different material. You can easily add things. So for example, if you have a specific country or region, we can add some extra material that can be also with your own language and so on. And if we have still a couple of minutes, I can show you what the social context means here. So I wanted people to be able to talk to each other. So for example, in the Finnish classrooms, people are they are discussing some new things. Sometimes they are agreeing, sometimes disagreeing. And there is a tool for that. So if we look at, for example, this white paper from Apeta Foundation, and we open it, we start reading. And then when we read, we think that, okay, there is a question that I would like to do to Hanna. Or I would like to make a comment so that my peers will chat about it. Then I just use the mouse. I get the comment tool. I can make my comment. And I can mark it is a question, or I can be anonymous, and I will post it then. And now when it's posted, you can see it here. You know, when another person comes here, they can see show comments, and they can also reply. So they can start chatting. And all this chatting happens in the context. So in the context of the question in the document. And also, if you want to make the question or comment inside the video in the context, you can also do that. So I show you how that happens. So I will start the video and I will pause it for a comment. So this is my video. And then I pause it, and you can see there's a comment tool, and I can make the comment again, and I can post it, and you can see it is now on the video timeline. And people can see that, okay, there is a question or comment here, and they can see that some content is very, very, say, interesting or difficult because I have many bubbles here. And they can start chatting. And in Finland, we have used this as a transformation tool. So we have used it so that the hospital districts, cities, communities, municipalities, they can talk to each other, but also inside companies. So we have a so-called openEHR vendor cluster developing, and they use it for learning as well. And some use it for educating the salesmen, even if they are openEHR-based companies already. We have in-house IT companies there as well, consultants. I'm educating some competitors to myself as well. And soon we will have also more civil servants in their own classrooms. So the classrooms can be shared, but they can be also individual. And I am there present under NDA in all these classrooms. And in the Netherlands, I collaborate with Medical Phit. I think most of you probably know Medical Phit, and Robert is also in this Teams meeting. And I think, Robert, you have probably loaded some brochures about this e-learning environment to the chat, I suppose. So that was basically what I have to say. So Robert, do you want to use 10 seconds?
I don't know if Robert wants that. Yes.
Yes, I'm online. Well, I don't think I have to add anything on your demo, but I'm just trying to add the files, the brochures to it. But yeah, I'm still a little bit. I had them prepared, but now it doesn't seem to work. To
Okay.
so just 1 second, and
yeah.
Yeah. I don't have.
Otherwise, we'll provide a link in the email we sent afterwards. If you have a link to the brochure, then we can provide that. Thank you, Anna, also for your presentation. I do see that we have to make the Netherlands your favorite country as well, so that we end up how the market is for openEHR in the Netherlands. Very interesting. I don't know if anybody has any questions for Hanna at the moment. There were no questions in the chat at the moment, so I guess not. Perhaps there are still questions that anybody while pondering about the whole session, that anybody would like to ask. Oh, the brochure is up in the chat, so it can be downloaded in the chat. But I think we'll provide the link as well. If there are no additional questions, I think I would like to thank all the speakers, Anna, Birger, and Antje, for their lovely presentations. I saw some thanks coming by already from other participants. And with that, I would like to close this session and wish you all a very good weekend. Thank you very much, and see you later.
Yes, thanks for the invitation. Have a good weekend.
You too. And we'll see you in the next year as well, or earlier. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.